So it's 38, it's Sunday morning after all the storms yesterday. Luckily we didn't get anything crazy other than a lot of rain, no real damage. Tornado touched down apparently an hour and a half from here, Hopkinsville. I don't think anybody was hurt or lost, their homes. There's a lot of water on the ground. Now we're looking at ice and 50% chance of snow. Typically what happens is we get snow, it's really pretty, warms up, makes it all wet, and then followed by ice, and that makes a sheet of ice everywhere. And usually when that happens, it's followed by more snow, melts in the day, sits on that frozen ice, refreezes, and just keeps stacking up the ice. Can't control it. All you can do is be aware of it. If you prepare for it, you're a little better off. If you don't, you wish you had. But once you're prepared, you just go on about your life. Other than that, dwelling on it and waiting for it to happen, that's the biggest downfall of most people. They spend so much time in fear. What if? Oh my God, this is gonna, oh shit. You guys might as well just end yourselves now. Why don't you take the time and get some shit done while you have the ability to get some shit done? It's Sunday, it's a normal day. I'm gonna get my farm stuff here done, and the wife and I, we're going out of town, out to Nashville. We're gonna go run around, have a nice meal, go get drinks somewhere, and do a little bit of light shopping. Probably hit Costco, bring a load full of, canned meat or something back. Some of the guys in some of the groups we're in, we're talking about a brand of meat, and it's literally nothing in it. They have a chunked beef and they have a hamburger. There's literally nothing in that can other than beef and salt. There's no molasses, there's no sugar, there's no additives. It's $8 a can. That seemed really expensive. We were buying flats of, some kind of canned beef at Costco. I don't remember ever thinking, man, that seems expensive. We walked out of Walmart last night with literally 3 bags of groceries, not even big bags, and it was $168. Now I had a couple DVDs in there too, but every time we ever went to Walmart, I always bought DVDs. And we shop for anywhere from 15 to 20 people. Amanda makes breakfast every day. She makes lunch 2 days a week. That's just the meal she cooks, and that's some of our stuff too. She would go to Walmart every Monday, and the back of the 4Runner was for the most part filled up. Not multi-layers and stuff, but jammed in there pretty tight, and it'd be about $350. That same trip now, $600 to $700. It's not even half filled 4Runner. Half of the carpet in the back cargo area is exposed. And we keep the back seats down. So that's truck bed length. And she only cooks lunch for 2 people. And then Jeremy cooks for 3. Jeremy's meals are way more intricate. And Jeremy shops 2 or 3 grocery stores and makes 3 meals. And his meals are big. There's leftovers. I eat them all through the weekend. When he makes ribs, I even eat them the next week. Awesome meals. No complaint. My point to that extra part of the story is Amanda spends $600 to $700 and only cooks lunch twice a week. The price has gone up and the bring home has gone down by 50%. Plus shrinkflation, they're shrinking the cans down. So you have the appearance of being the same can, but they taper down the packaging. Go pick up a bag of chips or something, right? Your snack pack chips or whatever. We don't eat those. I'm using this as an example because I've seen it a few times. That normal packaging literally feels like it has 5 chips in the bag. You know why? Because it has 5 chips in the bag. Just some things to think about. I'm gonna go out here and feed these animals. Hello, buddy. This is the same type of pin we're using for the chicken coop, but you can see tarp intact except for where Knucklehead pulled on it. It's dry. With extreme wind, you can see it's a little damp around the edges, but it's not soaking. Like when you step on it, water's not coming up out of the ground. I'm gonna take his bowl here and keep his dog food over here in row house right now because he likes to grab the trash cans and use them as chew toys. Despite having all kinds of stuff to chew on, we've bought and made for him to chew on. Kibble, we're still feeding him Purina Pro Plan 1 puppy feed. And I'm taking this fat that's fat on top and it's rendered down from the pressure cooker. Jeremy made some beef Wellington or Bolognese, or I'm not sure what it was. I'm sure I'm slaying it, Jeremy. I'm sorry. It was really good. It's just this super tender. I think he said it started from chuck roast. Super tender with a little bit of sauce over the top, like a gravy. I think it was just the drippings and juice from that. And then it went on a plate. He made some polenta. That was really good. Holy shit, was that a mess to clean up. I soaked that thing for 24 hours and then had to scrub it off between the tines of the masher that he used. It was a cheesy polenta, and there was a lot of cheese in it. It was really good. So we always keep all of the drippings and all of the fats where we used to throw it away. It's wrecking the septic system. The septic company won't take the septic tanks if it has any grease in it. Now everything we do gets used before it ever touches the sink or any water. We wipe that stuff out really well so that it is not going down the septic. We also added a little grease trap, which is under here, which I think is way undergun. I also don't really know how to maintain a grease trap. How frequently, when you get it out of there, are you supposed to reload the box like a P-tray? crap because it always smells kind of septic-y in here. I think we're way undergunned. I haven't really researched it a whole lot, but we need to do something different than what we're doing for sure. If you have any input on that, leave me some comments. If you're that dude, let's have a conversation. Even if you're not here and can't do it, I'd love to discuss. He gets all excited, whips that slime all over his face, and then he wants to wipe it on you. And I swear he does it on purpose. He'll get on my sleeve or rub his muzzle up against your leg, all the way down thigh of your pants leg. See, he likes that grease right there. My dogs don't ever run and eat because they're hungry, because we free feed them, especially his first 2 years. He's 13 months old now. I always thought he was older. And then Jordan, the breeder, awesome dude, for way more than dogs. He messaged me the other day. He's like, he saw a photo I posted of Magnus, and all the owners post photos of the dog. He messaged me, he said, man, Magnus looks great. Isn't it hard to believe that he's only a year and a month old or something like that? I'm like, no way. And I looked, and he's right. Wood shavings, pine. They smell awesome. I don't know what these cost now. I bought a whole trailer load of them a couple of years ago. They were $6 a bale, and I think if you buy an entire pallet load, I think you get them for 10% off or something. We use these for the rats. I would assume they're probably $8 a bundle now. At the end of the day, that's $8 that you're doing nothing other than having animals poop on. That's literally what this stuff is for. You'll see how we use them in a minute. Oh, little duck's not out there. I wonder where she's at. There's mama duck down there. But she's down there filter feeding through that mud and water down there in that bottom where the drain is. There's something down there that she is very much like me. She's been down there all day yesterday. Eggs. There's a fresh white new egg there. 3, 6, 9 eggs there now. So she's definitely maintaining them, kind of, I guess. At least she's sitting on them somewhat. I have to be careful throwing that stuff because those dumb birds will run towards it. I was throwing pumpkins 6 months ago. One of them hit a dang bird. It didn't move, and it broke its leg. That bird is no longer with us. This dumb little bird can't figure out how to get out of here. 3 eggs. Look at this sucker. A super undersized egg and a soft egg at that. My guess is something's wrong with her cloaca. That's the opening for fish, birds, and reptiles. They have one hole, and they poop and pee and breed through the same hole and lay eggs. This one's all dented here. See how soft here, but it's not cracking all the way through. Bit by the mouse the other day. Do mice carry rabies? I got bit by the mouse. I was thinking rabies. Didn't verbalize it to anybody. Nobody said rabies. And then when I turned YouTube on, there's a video on rabies. And the guy that presented the video, I don't remember what his name is. He's got several YouTube channels that are really good. Mega Works or Mega Projects is one of them. His video said, you get bit and you don't know you have rabies for 2 or 3 months. And by the time you know it, it's too late. There's only 6 cases, people who had full-blown rabies up until today's date that actually got all the symptoms of rabies and then survived afterwards. There's only 6. There's way too many birds in here. That's on purpose. It's so that there's a lot of them and they stay warm. Where's all the dinosaurs going? Look at them all. One runs and they all follow. 11 o'clock, temperature is 36. It's risen a little bit, it says. It doesn't feel warmer. Rain coming down, a couple more degrees down and drop, and we'll start seeing freezing rain. Anyways, I'm gonna run in here, work on a little pocket pouch design. Sure, a multi-tool, knife, pen, whatever, you know, just slide it in your pocket. You'll see. And then we'll probably release it next week. About 2.5 inches across. It's about 4 inches tall-ish. Pin, Canto Bruner, SOE Combat Cock Pin, Strider, SMF, almost all the way in. We can make different sizes. That's 2 308 casings that pin's made of. You can put it in your pocket. It's not going to bang around. It's not going to get scratched up. We can make different versions of this for different applications. Just something I was playing with this morning. Hear that? That's ice. Ice, ice, baby.
Alright, stop.
Collaborate and
Listen.
Ice is back with a
Brand new invention.
boy, Mike. He does it a little better. Forsaken, if you don't know who Mike is.
Make sure you all know my name.
A1A. You know that song? Ice, ice, babe. You know.
Are you gonna get in?
No, I still need the drone.
But you can't fly in the rain.
Oh, I can. I just realized that this is an appropriate time to wear this Katanica jacket. Do you have yours?
Of course I do.
Oh, you're gonna burn up.
Good.
We're not gonna get halfway down the interstate. You're gonna want to pull that off. What kind of pre-workout do you take today?
Coffee.
I realize what's happening now. Your verbal fluency is not on level with mine right now. You can't really hold a conversation with me because you haven't got enough pre-workouts in you.
Right.
You notice that I said outs, like plural. What pre-workouts do you like to mix together?
The harshest ones available. If I'm gonna take a pre-workout, it's gonna be.
I'm still using old Run Everything Labs, EWP. I bought a lot. I took it offline, but a couple of them didn't get offline. So we have customers from Run Everything Labs, which no longer exists. They started a new company called Run Sups. Just from the description, it doesn't sound like it's for me. I have a lot of inventory still of Run Everything Labs stacked up, and the containers, they're clumped inside. So I have to chunk it out with a fork. Every now and then, we get a customer order, and we send them out. We still ship them. But every now and then we hear back from somebody complaining that it's clumped up. And I'm like, look, that's all there is. They don't exist anymore. And when I look their name up, it's the only order they've ever placed. Well, we're listed on Run Everything's site as a dealer. So people desperate to get it are buying it from places they've never bought it. And I seem to be the only person with it. So they're complaining. I'm like, look, we're still using it. All my guys are using it. We just bust it out with a fork. And typically they come back with, you're right, I'll do that. I really like this product. And every now and then you get one that's like, fuck you, you fucking asshole. I'm like, well, send it back to me and we'll refund it. And I'll use it. I don't tell them that. They might pee in it or something. But they never do. They're just looking for a free one because they know they're still going to use that one. I got some Redcon 1 because I know Rob's friends with Zimmerman. I think that's his name. The guy that owns Redcon 1 has the gyms in the subs company. I saw that he sent Rob a ton of that stuff. So I bought, I don't know, $2,000 worth of it.
A lot, yep.
At first I didn't like it because it doesn't feel the same hit as Run Everything did. Now I know a lot of places, their labels are different, but it's the same company making their shit. The Redcon 1 stuff has grown on me a little. I just mix them. I use a pre-workout. I use the pump, which is a vasodilator, no stems. Then I use another one, supposed to be less stem, but muscle builder, and I kind of mix them. So I'm probably way overstimulated, way over-caffeinated.
You're talking very well.
So
your verbal fluency is amazing.
Verbal fluency. That's a key term you hear with nootropics. If you don't know what that is, look that up. And there's some see, I can't. I'm losing my verbal fluency. We can have a conversation about it if you want to offline. I feel slower. Pre-workout. So what do you use for pre-workout? What do you like from pre-workout? Do you notice that after about 6 weeks, your pre-workout that was the best in the world is no longer the best in the world? It's because you've become used to it. Another thing to check out is Jeff Logues. I think that's his Instagram post, Jeff Logues. He has a brand also. He's out of Nashville. Jeff Logan is his name. Sorry, I can't remember the name of his subs. Haven't tried them yet. I intend to order some and try them out. His videos are really good. You should check them out. If you check them out, just tell him I said what's up. We all have some mutual friends. If you're driving from Camden, Tennessee to Texas, the longest part of the drive is 641.
I agree.
Right here is where she always says, and it could be a long sleeve shirt, it could be a thin hoodie. In this case, it's the Antarctic Expedition version of the Katanica hoodie. She's like, I'm hot. Take this off. Oh, look, she also has her seat heaters on. Toyota, why the fuck can't you make your cockpits the same? I've had a Tacoma TRD Pro, a Tundra TRD Pro, and I'm probably gonna buy a Sequoia TRD Pro. And not a single one of your cockpits are the same. You give us 2 cup holders, yet the Tacoma had 4. You put the seat heaters buried back here in this cool ass carbon fiber, when it would be awesome if it was just, up here. What is wrong with you guys? I don't need this bullshit. Are you still hot?
I'm still hot.
Remember,
thank you.
It's snowing.
Yep.
And there's ice.
Yep.
Can we just go to the meat aisle, or do we need to?
I'm gonna punch you in your nose.
I really don't know why you're yelling at me right now. That pepperoni has to be refrigerated. Costco accomplished. Costco booze store also accomplished. That's that cucumber. El Nivel. A lot of people have a perception that it costs less at Costco Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. We'll compare price also at the normal booze store and see if it was actually less costly at Costco. 21 seeds. It's good enough though. I'll buy a couple more bottles just in case. For you.
You got some chicken cock?
Chicken cock. Go ahead and get one of those. What is that?
Straight bourbon whiskey. It says.
Whiskey, bourbon, and there's a third one. I don't ever know what the difference between them is. I know you guys are losing your minds right now. What's the difference in them? What's that say? Bullshit, right? Oh, bullet. The more expensive it is, the less good it usually tastes. I wonder how many people buy booze just by the name on the bottle. So Churchill's is the first cigars we'll smoke because we have the Churchill collection furniture. What's that called? Kismet? Back here at the Tractor Supply in the rich neighborhood. I don't know if people in the multi-billion-dollar home just don't buy rabbits, but they have a lot of rabbit cages, rabbit water bottles, and we go to, I don't know, we've probably been to a dozen other Tractor Supplies, you know, in both directions in Tennessee, east and west, and you're lucky to find one cage, but like when we were here last weekend, they had multiple cages. But we're back here to get some rubber water bowls for the rabbits. When the water freezes, you can throw those rubber bowls on the ground. We try not to use them all the time because the rabbits like to destroy them. They chew them up. They enjoy chewing on them. But for the few weeks or month that we have frozen water here, these work very well. These can't be 13 if these ones here are 7. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. 2-quart mini tub. No, here we go. 2-quart. That's got to be these, right? These are only 12. Okay. Oh, sure, it's gonna work. Watch. It just worked.
That's for that. This is for that.
I don't know why you're yelling at me right now. We're in enemy territory here at Whole Foods. I'm like, hey, what's up? But all these guys, they really are not smiling under the mask. They actually don't like us. We'll take all of your bacon. I need a guy that wants to come wrap my trees like these. I want him to wrap every twig in the tree with lights like this. I have 1,000-strand micro LEDs and 500s. What we found putting them on, the smaller, shorter strands were definitely easier to work with, and then you just plug them in end to end, run them in series. If you're that dude, I'll rent a high lift and I'll get you a couple guys that'll work with you, and I want the trees on the property to look like this, but all the way up. As the trees grow, it breaks the wire, so it's really a 2-3 year process max. It'll last for about 2-3 years, then we have to rewrap them. If that's you, get with me. Sure would be pretty if those lights were all lit up, huh? It just pulled. Remember those reflective tapes I put on the other day? They're both right here, hard as a rock. Ninja chop! Ninja! Oh man, my hand went in that pumpkin. Let's look for Mama Duck real quick. Got the poop shoes on. Duck nest looks okay. Don't see Mama Duck. Remember those videos I made months ago when I bought those floating stock tank de-icers? When you really need these things, you can't find them. That one I had plugged in isn't working. So I'm gonna plug this new one in and fire it off, and I have a couple of these luckily. When it comes time when you need these things, they don't exist. Like, you can't get them anywhere to save your life if you actually need one of these, because if this time comes that you truly need this, a bunch of other people need them too. My hands are so cold I can't tell if they're on or not. If the light on the GFI is on, that means power's on, right? That's good, right? Because if you push it the other way, it gives you the red light and turns it all off. Reset. Okay, maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. Maybe that's why the other one isn't working. I should know that, and I don't know that. Oh yeah, it's super burning hot on the top now. Normally, when it's cold, you know, like this, there's steam coming all out of this trough, and there's not right now. So the light signals that the system is tripped. Guys were asking the other day if we have to do anything extra for the ducks. You see in the kennels there, the ground is dry. The ducks are out here in the freezing water, and they're just all in the pond. Every one of them was in there splashing around in the pond. there's all the ducks. And as you see in the background on the outside of the fence, there's mother duck. The cold has never slowed the ducks or the geese down. It's a little later than I thought it was. Wiped the snow off of this thing, started it up. I meant to put all these four-wheelers in the garage before I left early this afternoon, and completely blanked on it. This is probably not good. Being that it has pulled this far down, it has completely bowed these. I did not take that into consideration at all. The damage might already be done. I don't know if those will spring back or not. I did not foresee that. So I've had this on, I don't know, a couple minutes. I really thought more of the snow would have melted off by now. I don't know why I thought that. Usually, because when it's wet and you turn it on, it starts steaming right away. So I just assumed that the heat would also melt the snow somewhat. These leather work gloves, I used to buy them at Costco in packages of 3. Super loved those gloves, and then they stopped carrying them. And Kirby and some of the guys, the truck drivers, said, man, you can get them at Pilot gas station. And I did. And we used to pay $25 for 3 pairs. Now they're $20 a pair. No insulation, just leather gloves. And my fingers are cold, but not bad. But boy, my toes are frozen. I don't typically wear an insulated boot or anything in the winter, but I think that I'm going to definitely have to look into that. For as much as I've pissed and moaned about this new 850 Polaris, I love that old 660. Fuel injection stomps carburetor. This thing started completely under ice, under snow, couldn't even see the key. Started up. This, it started, but it took a couple minutes to get it started. I'm gonna go get that little one now. Okay, change of plans. 450 will not start. It just ticks, it clicks. Like it won't turn over. Battery voltage too low, so I wanted to get them in tonight because if they freeze, then you won't get the ice off of them. But tomorrow we'll just pull it over here with another four-wheeler, push it inside and let it melt. I think what I'm going to do right now is go get the leaf blower and try to blow as much snow off as we can. That'll be less melt in the garage. Blow it off. Hours of work could have been prevented by simply spending 2 minutes to put these damn things in the garage, and I had every intention of it. I made sure I had the drone with me though in Nashville this weekend, which I didn't even fly. Let's see. This minute before we go in, hear all that water running. Let's hope that continues to run. I really got to get these heads in. I've got these cabbages. I've got these beautiful cauliflowers. I don't even like cauliflower. And then I got broccoli. This is some red onion found in the back of the refrigerator rotting. This is some celery. These are some lettuce, little mint. There's some cilantro. I don't know if he's going to pull through after tonight. Next real problem I have is these poles here are upright. See how they are upright? You see how the next ones are not? Like this sucker could snap, and I don't know if it will even come back straight once we release it. Hopefully no more snow and precipitation, although I'm watching little pieces of snow come down right now. But hopefully this melts in the morning, comes through as water, and that's kind of the end of it. I don't know what the best action's going to be.